So this is what we're going to be doing today. Like I said, underwater world. We're basically going to be doing a mermaid and some shells. Now, mermaids you can do in different ways, obviously, depending where you're going to place the mermaid on the face. I try to always make my mermaids without faces because that saves me time. I'm going to be using the Onestroke number 1 from Cameleon, and I think we're going to use Siren as for the tail. Okay, so I'm going to be loading my lighter, the lighter side, the green, blue or turquoise. I love those colors, I think, and just touching a little bit of the darker edge with, as I'm loading, because I need that little bit of a darker edge as well. Okay, now tails, you've got various ways to make your tail. I'll start here so you can see. We can take it on the outside, and we can just do a tail like that with another one like that, and then you color a little bit more, a little bit wetter because that goes much better. So we're just going to do a little tail like this now. Yeah, you can do a tail like that, or we can go a little bit more elaborate, and that would be let's take the lighter side on the outside and push it out, bring it back, away and back, and then push it out, bring it back, all the way back, push it out and around. And you basically can go into a fan look like this if you want. And it makes it a bit more spiky, a spiky look. Reason why I go up and down, you can't actually see it as nicely with this color, I've noticed. So I'm going to try and take another color so that you can actually see what it does. Let's take this one, and I can actually show you by going up and down with that tail. It's just not showing the true colors in this now. I'm going to do it with this darker color so you can actually see what it's doing. Okay, so I'm going to take it out, bring it out to the point, and bring it back. Come back and round. Bring it back to fill in that color, bring it back, point, and down. Bring it back into the color, back, and round. You see, you can actually see the line work now in it. Yeah? Okay, let's just finish this one off then. Bring it back, come back again, point it back, round, bend, round, back. I always come back on the actual line again, point it out, come round. I'm not sitting in front of it, am I? Just trying to look at the camera as well every time, just to see that you are getting a good look at what's going on. I think my hand's in front of it now. Yeah. Last one. And we'll bring it around. See, so you can do a little fan tail like that. You can do one like that. Let's do another different one. So I'm going to, I'll do the actual mermaid one now. So just have a look and see which tail you want to do, which one you think is fun at that moment. My tails I change every time. I think it's fun to do. And in the at Halloween time, I do the scary sirens. That's fun. Okay. So let's take this little one. So I'm going to take it around, bring it down, and I'm going to just come back a little bit, bring it back, a little bit wavy, come back, and then go out from here, go down, bring it back a bit to the point, come back, wavy, bring it back a bit. Why I bring it back is so that I get those lines, remember, as I said. And my last one, I'm going to take from there. And bring it out. You see, I turned my brush around just on that last little bit so that I could have my darker side on the outside. Now, once I've done the tail bit, I make sure I've got my lighter side to the top and my darker side down below. And I bring from this side, just with my darker side now, I'm just touching the tail and then coming up, bringing it up, and then pushing out all of it, the bottom, twisting it around, twist it, so then coming back down, and then just doing a small little U here, and then I stop. I'm just going to fill in this here, and now I turn my my brush the other way. I just want to give this, just color that little piece in there with my brush. I turn it the lighter side out again, and I bring it up and around, bringing it up around, and you can go a bit wiggly piggly. There we go. That's it. So I do that section. Now I take my Seva cake and a filbert number 6. Can I show you it? Whee! There we go. That's a filbert number 6. And I just take the lighter shade, flesh tone, and then I bring down a piece that's going to come past this, and it's going to go from there, that's the shoulder blade, and I bring it, oh, it's not wet enough again. Sometimes this paper makes it a bit more difficult, but it doesn't matter. So shoulder blade, bring it down, and go sideways a little bit. And then as I get to just as about the bum section, I put down a thumb and I push down a hand. Here we go. And now that's going to be my shoulder, right? So from my shoulder, I take a neck area, which is going to be over here, and I come down to the chest area. And then I put in a face, but I just put a tiny little, like half square there, like that. Then you can bring this down and take it, fill it in, and we'll give her a little bit of a hollow back and push it out to her bum so she gets a good bum. Okay, so that's that part. Once I've done that, I now will take a filbert from Cameleon number 1, and let's do some nice pink hair. I like pink. And now I'm just taking the cake, my split cake again, and this is the Purdy girl, and just loading the white and the pink, taking the darker edge and putting it down with a lighter edge top, bring it around, push it out, bring it around this side, down her back, and now you can go over this arm and bring it in there if you want. Why not? And now I push the lighter side, I push that up into a little, the part, her head, basically giving her head a bit more shape. I just want to bring this out a little bit. Okay, we got that, and we'll bring this and make it a bit more flowy. Ooh. Now obviously the hair, it's something you can play with if you want. It's however you prefer it. I think I'm going to just bring in a piece coming down here of her hair. It came from the other side of her arm. Okay, now I'm going to outline. And I outline with a dark brown. It's the Espresso from Cameleon. That's the one I use. Instead of using black, I use the Espresso, the dark brown. And my Sunny Mountain fineliners. I just find that really nice to actually work with. Okay. What I did need to do, and I forgot to do, was give her a little booby. So let's do that. It's dried. Should have done it immediately once I put the body down. But doesn't matter, we're going to do that now. So we're just going to put in some boobies. There we go. And now I just outline as I go. Maybe just let that one dry a bit. I'll carry on with the rest of it. Let's go here by the legs. So you got that part coming down by the bum. And by the legs, I just give a little fold and a fold. Bring it around, down. Now you don't have to really outline the tail part. You could actually just leave that. It's not really a necessity. I just think it's fun. See, and this tail that I did was a bit of a free flow tail fan. Okay, bring it around and down. We need to determine this. Get a little fan going. Cute little fan on her. Okay, this one coming there. Let's get this little fan thing here. I think I want to give a curl on that. Around here. And I think maybe it'll be cute if I have a couple of little strands just hanging down there. So now the little hand, we want to just give that a little bit of definition. Here we go. Well, that's basically, you could leave it at that. Now you can do some more highlights on it if you have time, but you could also just leave it just like that and off you go. Or we can go and have some more detail with it. So I'm just going to put a couple of highlighting pieces in. And then maybe sit her on, shall we sit her on a rock? I think that would be cool, eh? We could sit her on a rock, or you could sit her on the beach. You could sit her on, so in this case you'd be able to put this on the eyebrow. You could put her on the cheek. You could put it on the shoulder, arm. So there are various places where you could put this on the actual face or body of the person that you're painting. I'm going to put her on a rock, so I'm going to use the Savannah, what's Seva from, done by Sarah. I use that one. Let's go for the little bit of a rocky. Okay, so I've got a bit of a rock. Now I want to do a seashell. Let's do one of those horn seashells with it. I'm going to be using one of the, actually no, why don't I use, yeah, I'm gonna use this one, the same one that we used for the rock, but I'm going to use the lighter bits now, the load the light and a little bit of the dark with it, and we're going to put a nice horn shell next to it. So come around to put your point down, come around, bring it around and twist it, twist, 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 and stop just before you actually get to the other. Okay. Right, and then load again with the lighter. Oops, too much water. And then follow your white line that you've got there and put the darker side in that V, and you bring it around and you make a U, and you come back to your shell bit. You bring it in. There we go. Then I'm going to come and bring in my darker bit around here, bring it around, and then do a little and I'm just gonna give that a touch with my blender brush, just so that the edge isn't as hard. Not necessary, you don't have to do this. It's just I like a softer edge. Right, you can take that around. And the same as here, when I come around, bring it around the edge. Oops. Putting a little bit too much darkness there, but it's okay. Just notice I'm using a very darker, because I'm supposed to be using coffee, and I automatically grabbed the espresso, and that's not what we want. We want the coffee. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is with that same the coffee, I'm going to go from here, go out and down and spread it out a bit. Come here, bring it down and spread it out. Bring it out, spread it out. Bring it out, spread it out. From there, bring it out, spread it out. Now we're going the opposite way, because you want to make sure you keep that roundness. So now I'm going the opposite, see? The opposite way. So that way I went this way, and now I'm going with these last ones, I'm going this way. And then we just put another one and another one in there. Okay, so when I've done that, I take my let's just get the proper boxes out for you so I can show you the clean ones. That's this one I'm going to be using now. That's the O2 from Cameleon. And I'm going to be using the red first. And I'm going to put in a little bit of the red. Just dab it in there. Dab it in, dab it in, dab it in. And pull it out softly to the lighter section. Just very lightly. And then I'm going to go onto the black and dab that in just along the edge, just along that edge there. Okay. Okay, now when I've done that, we can take white, load white on our fine liner. And the fine liner, put a tape over it so I can't see which number. That's the longer one that I'm using. See, it's got the longer. I just find that nice to do the edges like this. But then you should load it properly and not too little paint. Okay, let's put that. And then we're just going to put a little bit of white along these edges, because that's where the light would be hitting it, on these top edges like that. Okay, so that one's fine. Now let's do some other shells. So you got that shell you can use. I'm going to use the African Moonlight now, and I'm just going to load some of the dark blue, light blue. Let's just have some fun. Let's see what we can achieve with this. And I'm going to make a nice little petal. That's all you do. Just make a cute little petal and another little petal. That's fun. Let's make another petal this way. Oh, that one's went wrong. Okay. So we've got some petals there. And I think I'll just do another one that's lying. Oh, that's lying from the side down here. Let's put another one there. Let's put a little one next to it. Okay. let's use African Sunset from Cameleon. Load the orange and the more of the lighter side than the darker side. And then I'm going to put a shell. So now I have my lighter side up. Let's put a shell in here, coming out here. Yeah. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, it's going to go a little bit over that one. That's okay. So she's hiding behind. The shell's hiding. Oops, hiding behind. Don't put it in the wrong way, then it goes wrong. Another shell over here. 1, 2. Can you actually see what I'm doing? 3, 4, 5. And another little one there. Fill it in. Touch it up. Let's go for a black and white. Going for a black and white shell. I'm going to do that one here. Let's see what we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And square it off a bit. I'm going to go over that one again because I just find it just not popping enough. Let's just go over it again. 1, 2, 3. That's better. Okay. Do another one next to it. I'm just going to fill up all over the place with some shells. I think that's that'd be cool. Quite dark shells. The black shells. So you see my shells, I basically use these ones, is the same stroke that you would use when doing a flower. So let's see. I'll do another one here so that you can actually see it. I'm going to put it in there, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another smaller one, 6. Just touch that up. Let's do another one here. One, 2, 3, 4. Now I've got to watch obviously where I'm going on to so I don't mess up my other shells. That would be a pity. And another one that we can do, shell-wise, is just doing a half round. Those are pretty simple ones. And that's taking it up, and round, bringing it further and down. Those are very easy ones. So, up and round and down. Those are almost those see-through ones that you get. Just taking it back down so that it actually goes over this one a bit. Let's lay one in here. Up, round. So I try not to move too much of my darker side. So when I put it in, I push out my lighter side and I push it around. See, so almost pushing my brush flat, and then I come back up again and I release it. Alright, so if you wanted to do seaweed using green and blue, using the Mystic Sea. Up we go, we're going for a Mystic Sea. Keeping the green side up. And now I use the flat side of my brush. I lay it down and I push out and I come back. It's basically like a ribbon. Push out, come back, and you make it smaller. Push out, make bigger strokes up and down, and then smaller. Yeah? Same thing here. Come in there. Bigger. Bigger and smaller. And you can put a couple of smaller ones in between, so it looks like there's some just popping around the back there. I'm just going to bring this one up. Yeah, let's bring one in here. Right. So she's sitting on a rock in the sea. So we could also do a couple of bubbles in between if you want to. See, so it's keeping my brush on its, what end would that be? The face end. And just wiggling it up and down softly so that you get a bit of a wave in your seaweed. And by not pushing too hard, I get, it looks like it's split, the seaweed. I'm going to bring in a piece here because I can. You got to be careful, green and red make brown, so you don't want to mess that up. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. Just a couple of bubbles here and there. Let's put a bubble going across this, although I haven't finished doing my shells. Okay, let's finish with these shells. Okay, So these ones, we just give an outline on the outer edge, and then another one inside and another one, just to give it that shell. It's like a mussel, isn't it? A mussel shell. And this one. And these little ones, you do half rounds like that, all small little half rounds on those, going all the way down, see? And you actually get a true shell effect. One I'm just going to do that. So with white, half round, half round, half round, half round, just a couple. Half rounds, ding, 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 ding. Then immediately you take away the actual flower effect. Then it starts looking more like a shell. Okay. Okay. And just go over this little piece again, just to brighten up a bit. Bit of a beachy sand look, huh? That it's a little bit on the beach. Ching, 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 ching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you actually learned something with this little mermaid. There we go. A little mermaid with shells and seaweed. Go and have some fun, and I will be doing another one. The next one will be with I think a seahorse and a turtle.